Hey, good morning. It is 7:30 on a Friday, and you're alive right here with me, Preston. This is Done Believing, overcoming delusions by getting to know the truth because we're done believing the truth. Completely backwards. Completely backwards today. Hey, this is Done Believing. Moving away from simply believing the truth straight towards knowing the truth. All for the purpose of overcoming delusion. And there's so many versions of the truth today in this postmodern world. And I'd heard that expression thrown around a bunch. I had to go look it up for myself. And basically, postmodernism is a bunch of people thinking that they know what reality is because they heard somebody on TV or a movie tell them what that is. I don't know. It's nuts. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. But there are so many people who believe that you can have your truth, your version of the truth, and all this other stuff. It's just crap. It is possible to know the truth, not the objective truth. I'm sorry, not the subjective truth. See what I mean? It's so complicated. It's so dumb. Subjective truth, objective truth. It's just true. It's either true or it's not. And people today are more confused than they've been all week. I would say for history, but I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, I want to get right to it, man. The question of the week. I don't know if you've seen it, if you've answered it, if you've thought about it. Maybe you haven't. It doesn't matter, but here it is. Where does your energy come from? Where does your energy come from? And the reason I ask the questions is not because I've got some great answer and insight that I'm going to lay on to you. It's simply to get you thinking, to go, hey, you know what? I personally haven't thought about that. I've heard about it. I've watched a lot of things about it. I've read a lot about it, but for my own self, I haven't actually thought and contemplated that. And I enjoy contemplation. And I hope you do too. That's the idea, is to spur my greatest hobby, which is thinking things through for myself, observing them, contemplating them. And but before I get into the answer, I had a little thought this morning. Where was it? Where is it? Oh yeah. Overcoming delusion. That's what it was. I was getting ready this morning to do the live here, and I was thinking, the little catchphrase at the beginning, all for the purpose of overcoming delusions. And I was like, the easiest way to put it into words of how to overcome a delusion, because all of us are born into some kind of delusion. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just doing it because we've been told to do it that way. Some people might call that a generational curse. For the most part, I guess you could say it is, because you're not being blessed by just repeating what other people did and not knowing why you're doing it. You're just going through the motions. The easiest way to verbalize how to overcome a delusion is observe. Observe your own behavior. And I'll go to the scientific world. It's 7:30 on a Friday. I'm excited that the weekend's almost coming up. I can't believe another week has flown by. And if you're like me, you do some of your best thinking in the morning. And so here's a little something simple to get your Friday started. Right here. Okay, a little video clip about observation. I want you to remember that. Think observation when you watch this video. Just a little something light to get you going this morning. Check it out.
To make an observation, you somehow have to interact with the system. For example, you have to shine light on it, which then bounces off and you observe the light. That's how we can tell that a baseball is here or there. We bounce light off of it. Well, for macroscopic particles, that doesn't disturb them very much. But for microscopic particles, the act of bouncing the light off of the particle changes where it is and how it's moving.
So in the microscopic universe, where photons of light are about the same size as subatomic particles, these photons have a big impact when they illuminate the particles so we can see them. But this doesn't answer the question, Why doesn't the light simply change the direction of the subatomic particles? Why does observation actually change the nature of what is being observed?
The short answer is we don't know.
There you go. Hey, what do you think about that? Is that enough for you? You got your mind working? What the hell are these guys talking about? Let me break it down. Not that you can't understand just because I only showed you a part of the whole. Let me put it into some kind of context. This video is talking about the idea, or not even the idea, the reality of particles in our universe, and the fact that when they are observed, they behave different than when they're not observed. That's the basic thesis happening here. And as the scientist guy just summed up, why do particles, subatomic particles, very small little things, and everything's made up of a subatomic particle, so therefore, why does stuff behave different when we observe it as opposed to when we don't observe it? Simple answer. We don't know. We're not sure yet, but the reality, the truth of the matter is it does. It does. So here's my point, my opening thoughts, just a little something simple for you to think about, to wake up to. I don't know where you're at in your day. Overcoming delusion. Easiest way to do it, the only way to do it, is just observe it. As soon as you observe it, it begins to behave different. The scientist, this genius, he just got through telling you that. So I'm not making this up on my own. I didn't just cook this crap up. I didn't hear about it in like a religious group. It's not even a religion. It's just the way the universe works. It's the way God designed things to work. You can either go along with the way God designed it, or you can fight against it with your own ideologies. But you want to overcome delusion, just begin to observe your own behavior. Hey, that being said, just think about that. But let me answer the question of the week. Where does your energy come from? Where does your energy come from? And I want to kind of explain this question a little bit. There's a reason I didn't say, where does your strength come from? Because if you've grown up in church, if you've read the Bible, if you're into that, you'll know there's a lot of proverbs that use the word strength rather than energy. They say, Lord, give me the strength. The AA mantra. If you know anything about AA or recovery programs, give me the strength to change the things I can, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of emphasis put on strength. But I did not use the word strength, and I'll explain why. Strength. Let's look at the definition of the word strength. To sum it all up, it's the capacity. Strength is the capacity to do something. Energy is the vitality to do something. And I'll put that in a context very quick, and I'm sure you're already ahead of me. But let me catch up with you. You got a car, it's got a big engine, it's got nice wheels, it's got all the snacks inside of it that you're going to need for a road trip. Heading out on the open road, but it has no gasoline. That's the difference between strength and energy. You can have all the strength in the world. You can have the nicest car, biggest motor, the capability, the capacity to do. But if you have no energy, if you have no vitality, you're not going anywhere. And where do we give you another example? There's a difference between a Christian with a doctrine and head knowledge about God, knowledge about Jesus. A Christian with the doctrine and the knowledge, but no experience. Zero. It's like taking marital advice from a guy who's not married or a gal who's not married. Why would you do it? They're not married. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to get my marital advice for somebody who's been married over 20 years. And even at that, just an example. I don't want to talk about marital advice, just an example. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's the difference between capacity and vitality. So whatever your answer was, no one commented on the question. I don't even know if anybody's getting the question. And by getting, I mean seeing it. I don't know. A lot of times I'm just doing these into the ether. Sometimes there's somebody there, sometimes there's not. But you're here today, and so I'm talking to you. Take a minute. Think about that question. Where does your energy come from? Not your strength, but your energy to even utilize what you're already capable of. So I'll answer for myself. My energy comes from rest. Rest. And what am I talking about? Do I mean like just taking Sundays off, Saturdays off, taking a vacation, do some rest? That's for the physical body. That kind of rest is for your physical body. I'm talking about something deeper than that. Let's just go back to the car. You've driven all day long in that car I was talking about earlier that has gas now. So you're taking that road trip. Well, eventually you're going to have to pull over, turn the car off, let things cool down. You don't want to just run the thing ragged. So you got to let it physically rest. But the energy I'm talking about comes from a deeper rest. My rest is a place inside me. Someplace deep down inside. It's where the Spirit of God dwells. The kingdom of heaven within you. It's what our master told us. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's within your midst. It's within you. You got to go inside. It's not something that's physical, that's outside that you can go look for. Everybody's going to be like, oh, there it is. That's not it. Oh, we got the kingdom over here. Ignore it. You got to come out from among them. Be alone. Go inside. Get to know yourself. My rest is a place within me that's even more real than the outside world. And once you begin to live from that place, life becomes real. It's no longer temporal. Human beings stuck on the plane of time and space and mortality. Everything's temporary. Nothing is forever. Therefore, anything that does last forever is actually real. And anything that is temporary is fake. It's not real by comparison. So a place within me where the Spirit of God dwells, where the kingdom of heaven is, that's where my faith is rooted. My faith is rooted there. That's where patience flows like a river through me and out of me. So it's a place of rest that's even more realistic than any vacation I've ever been on. It's the truth that I'm talking about. It's within. It's not without. So how do I go to this place? I go there by practicing this commandment from God. Be still and know that I am God. That's what the Psalms say. Be still and know that I am God. On a side note, you're going to have a lot of religious people telling you, the Bible says you got to take a Sabbath. We got to rest like God did. Yeah. That's all superficial stuff. And if you focus on that, you're going to miss the essence, the vitality, the spirit behind what God was talking about, what Jesus was talking about. Here's Jesus on the Sabbath. He heals a lame person. And the religious people come to him and they're like, what the hell are you doing? You can't work on a Sunday or on a Saturday, whatever the Sabbath was. See, there's another bunch of religious stuff. You might have just gotten triggered and be like, oh, the original Sabbath was a Saturday. And the pagans turned it into Sunday. That's sun worship. Stop. Let's go back to Jesus getting attacked for not resting physically on the Sabbath. And what does he say? The Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a gift from God to you, the Son of Man. To me, the Son of Man. To humans is what he means by Son of Man. The Sabbath is a gift from God. And it is concerning spiritual matters, things not of this world, things beyond what we can see and touch and taste and feel and emotionally connect to. It's something even more real than your very emotions. It's something inside of you. And this is how I get there. And I'm giving you this advice. You can take it or leave it. You can take it and go to the place that I'm going to, or you can stay in your religious bubble of head knowledge. Here it is. Be still know that I am God. Not me. That's what I'm quoting God. Okay. I'm not God. Be ye still and know that he is God, right? So this is what that looks like. Every morning I wake up, drink coffee with my wife. I go to my prayer time and I observe my thoughts. I don't control them. I don't whip them into shape. I don't direct them towards God. I don't ponder one thing only. I simply observe them. And as I observe them, they just flow in through my mind like a movie. I'm not connected to them. I'm not what's the word? I'm not identifying with them. So there's a peace that passes all understanding. Even though my mind is all over the place, I'm still in this place of perfect peace. In the evening, before I go to bed, I do the same thing. I reflect over my day, thoughts going through my mind. I don't try to control them. I'm only observing them, because within that movie of thoughts, there's something that God wants me to see there, something that keeps coming up. But even beyond that, there is a perfect peace that happens when you no longer identify with your thoughts. You've transcended them. They're happening all the time, but they're not affecting you. It's like living next to the freeway. You wonder how somebody can live next to an interstate freeway and it's constant noise, truck noise, trucks going up and down the freeway, exhaust, horns. You live there long enough, you just start to phase all that noise out. You don't even notice it anymore. And that's what it's like when you learn how to observe. That's why I brought up at the beginning that little video about observing particles. It's not a religion. It's just the way the universe, it's just the way creation works. It's the way it was designed to work. And just like that scientist said, why? Why does it do that? Well, we don't know, but it does. Don't take my word for it, though. Go and try it. See for yourself. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Energy comes from a place of rest. Rest is a place more real that's inside me. And how do I go there? I go and I be still and I observe and I live from there. I don't live from my thoughts, chased this way and that way with every thought that pops in and out. Thoughts are not rooted, but faith is rooted. And it's rooted like a tree. And the river of patience that flows next to it brings it water so that it can thrive and survive and bear fruit. And I live off of that fruit. Sound weird what I'm saying? It's not. Go within, observe, and you will see things behave different. And your life will begin to change. And you won't be able to take credit for it. You will only see the hand of God in your life. And what more miracle do you need? Y'all have a great week. I will see you on Monday, 7:30 for Done Believing.